Hi guys, I have a question. So, can you learn something from authors you don't like? Yeah? Do you think you can learn something? Or what about authors that don't write the same kind of genre as you? Like, I've been known to read a lot of books that have nothing to do with anything that I would necessarily write, but I enjoy reading them. I wouldn't write those kinds of books, but I enjoy reading them. So, can you learn from that if you're a writer? My opinion is yes, and sometimes, oddly enough, it can be you can learn what you should not do, not want to do. Now, and a perfect example is one author I've read. I'm not crazy in love with her books, but I used to read her books when I was younger. Very popular author. I won't say who, but very popular. And, I found that all her books always had characters that were perfect. They were gorgeous, and the whole life was perfect, and they had money and all this stuff, that I couldn't relate to. I was like, well, that's good for them. And because she always wrote like that, it kind of turned me off writing about that. Now, and not to say my characters aren't good looking, or I don't say they're good looking, or they don't have money, especially the last few books, but I don't put as much emphasis on that. I feel it's very important to show their sort of insecure sides, no matter who they are. Even if they seem super strong, someone like George Hernandez, I write about, is very full of himself at times. But I like to show his weak side, and I also like to show the fact that he doesn't focus too much for being someone who's so powerful with a lot of money. He doesn't focus on it. I don't want that to be the focus point of my books. You see a lot of these books, people in their cartels and stuff, and they have like 10 cars and solid gold phones or whatever. He's not that kind of character, and I made sure of that. I didn't want it to be, let's brag about how his lifestyles contribute to him being rich. To him, it was about power. It's always been about power. Getting off topic. The point is that, you kind of sometimes see something in someone else's books. And it might be somebody reading my book saying, oh, I wouldn't do it like that. And maybe they're learning about themselves as a writer from, seeing what they wouldn't do if they were me. But that's fine. That's a part of it. You shouldn't just see things that you like in other writers or creative people and think, I'm just going to do what they do. Sometimes you need to be inspired by what they do that you don't want to do. And you have to be able to kind of see why. I've wrote about characters that were very insecure about their looks and stuff like that. I think that's important. I think it makes your characters more relatable. I think that's really the key. Um, and yeah, I'm trying to think of some other authors. There's been different authors where I read and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't do it like that, or I wouldn't do this like that, or I wouldn't have the character like that, or if my character in that situation, they wouldn't react like that. That's important because that's you learning as a writer what you would do and why. Ask yourself why. There's a reason. For example, I write about a lot of very strong female characters. Probably because I've read about a lot of female characters that weren't strong, that were being walked on and shit on by everybody. And I'd be like, why do you do that? Like, that drives me crazy reading about it. I can't imagine writing about it. That's why you don't seem to tend to see that with my female characters. You might want to not cross my female characters. The point is that you can learn. There's many ways. You don't just pick an author that you really like and do exactly what they do. In fact, I wouldn't recommend it no matter who it is. Learn from them. Why did they do that? And why do you like that? And you might copy their kind of idealism, their ideas, I should say, not idealism, their ideas, the way they think, the way they go about it, but don't copy any other authors, and don't turn your nose up too much at other authors. I know I kind of do sometimes, but just kind of look at it as a learning experience. Why do you not like this, and why would you do it differently, and how would you do it differently? Like I say, female characters. I've seen a lot of very weak female characters in books over the years, and that's why I go all out to make sure mine aren't, because I don't want that. I don't like that. What about you? Is there an author that you've read, and you don't have to name them? Is there authors you've read that you've seen things you didn't like and you purposely wrote differently, or that you avoided maybe reading their books because of that? I'm just curious. like I say, you can learn from everyone, whether you like them or not. What do you think? Have a great day, guys.